Hey everyone! So I haven't released a video in a while, but don't worry, this one is just something I came up with. I thought that you might be interested in seeing. I don't know, I'm really hyped with Nod Cry, and so far from playing through Nod Cry, I really love it. I have 100%ed two of the three islands in Nod Cry so far, and really loving Rerir as the villain right now, mostly because he actually seems very intimidating and scary. And after seeing the 6.1 trailer, he seems like he's a legit scary villain. It's not like one of those villains that'll be scary and have a lot of foreshadowing and then end up being a cinnamon roll or a adorable little dude. Nope, Rerir doesn't seem like that kind of person, and fighting him would actually mean consequences. Like, he's actually threatening and scary, and that is kind of refreshing because there have been villains in the past in Genshin where it's like there's so much foreshadowing and build up, and then they end up falling flat, like Arlecchino. For Rerir, like, he came out of nowhere. I think I didn't see. I mean, there were crumbs of him as a sinner, I think, but we didn't really see anything from him or hear anything from him much until we got to Nod Cry, and he's awesome. He's just packing it. Even in the trailer, his presence was really intimidating, and breaking Columbina's shield like that. Whew, let's see. I am really excited to see him in 6.1, which is gonna drop in a few days, I think less than a week from now. Everyone's off to go fight him, so yeah, that's gonna be fun. And Flins is awesome. I ended up pulling for his C1R1, and unfortunately I had the worst luck pulling for him. Hard pity, lost 50/50s everything. So yeah, but after playing him, after bringing him to Spiral Abyss, I was finally able to 36-star Spiral Abyss again after so long, because I never really pulled for any Natlan units during Natlan, so I always sucked at it, and I only had Auroron with me to fulfill that Night Soul mechanic. I would get, what, like 34 star, no, what was it, 33 stars, 33 stars all throughout the Natlan patch. Never got 36 stars in Abyss throughout that, but it's refreshing to finally get that again. I mainly pull for characters that I like, so unfortunately in Natlan, the Natlan roster didn't do so well for me. I did intentionally pull for Auroron, though. I was pulling on Linny's banner for him. I got Linny to C2 actually, because I was trying to get C6 Auroron, and I still didn't get C6 Auroron. I got C5 Auroron. That's a lot of Aurorons in one sentence. Natlan was okay. Like, after Fontaine, gotta admit, Natlan had a lot of expectations to fulfill, and it just didn't quite hit it for me. But I was still around. I was still playing through Natlan. It's just, it wasn't like Fontaine. It wasn't like the previous regions that we were at. But anyway, this isn't about Natlan. This is about Nod Cry and Rerir and Flins. And yeah, as in my previous video was just looking at Flins' attack animations, and I am really having fun with Flins. I think maybe I will eventually C6 him. Who knows? But there's so many characters I want to pull for in Nod Cry, so we'll see if I have any spare Primo Gems for C6 Flins. But even at C1, he's great, and I don't have Inefa, so that's another unit that I want to pull for eventually. But even without Inefa, even just getting his C1, he already does such a good amount of damage that it doesn't even feel bad not having Inefa. would be better if I had enough though. But yeah. And speaking of Flins teams, I'm looking forward to pulling for Columbina. For Flins, I'm assuming Columbina would be good in a Flins team. And what else? Future plans. I'm also considering going for Durin, maybe just the C0, and I'm gonna pass on the weapon. That don't really have a lot of primos, especially if I'm trying to go after Columbina too. Of course, I want her weapon. She's the Archon of the region. And after that, Varka and Sandrone as well. We don't really have a lot of information on Sandrone yet, but I collect Fatui members too, and even if they do release the Torre, he's a villain that I don't really like, but I will still pull for him because he's Fatui, and he's still cool because he's a villain. Won't forgive him for everything he did to Scaramouche, but he's a Fatui, so I'm gonna have to collect him too. And I plan on, if he does become playable, which I don't think he will though, if he does become playable and I pull for him, I will spend a lot of time throwing him off cliffs and just watching him dissolve into death. Pulling him just for that is gonna be value for primos. So yeah, that's my plan for the Torre if I pull for him and if he becomes playable. And in line with playable villains, I really do hope Rerir will get a playable version of him in the future, but you know, I don't think he will. But in the off chance that he does, I'm also ready to pull for him and his weapon because he looks so badass. And speaking of that, also, like, what is up with the whole Krai cast? They all look like Halloween themed. Flins is like a vampire lord or something, and then Aino looks like a Frankenstein themed kid. Like everyone else seems to have like a Halloween theme going on, which I actually really like. It's pretty interesting that they have a Halloween region going over there. So it's evidently clear that I love Krai and I'm having fun with it, that I just started talking about it and forgot to talk about the art that I'm doing of these two characters, Flins and Rerir. So yeah, let me go ahead and start talking about that now. So I started drawing these two characters because I wanted to see them fighting without interference with the Traveler. So yeah, they're kind of fighting over the lamp, and the lamp has Rerir's heart still. Spoilers, by the way, I should have said that before I said the thing, but yeah, Flins' lamp has Rerir's heart fragment in it because Flins thought it was pretty. Basically, that's the short version of the story. So yeah, they're kind of just fighting. It doesn't really look like they're fighting, but it's more of like, I don't even know who's winning at this point in this fight because Rerir's a bit too gentle on Flins if they are fighting, and Flins is just like, I don't know, he's staring intently and deeply into Rerir's eyes as if he wants to add Rerir's eyes in his collection too. I don't know. Flins is weird. Who knows what he's thinking about, because he collects bones and makes puzzles out of them too. So anyway, whatever's wrong with Flins, I love it. Like he's just so weird. And that's really funny. And I like how they still made him humorous without it being redundant or corny. Because we know the Electro male units in the game are all goofy, right? Especially Sino. Sino is notorious for dad joke and basically just being funny. And I was actually worried that they would turn Flins into some kind of comedic relief character, just like how Auroron ended up being. Like, he was in the trailer or an earlier preview, he looked so cool and like mysterious and stoic, and then he ended up being that which isn't bad. I also, I'm still trying to C6 Auroron, so I love that character. It's just that, expectations didn't meet what we got, but it's fine. But with Flins, he just keeps on delivering. Like, everything I find out about this character makes me like the character even more. And even his humor, he has really dark humor, and it's funny because I don't know, or I don't think we have any other character in Genshin Impact that has dark humor specifically. We do have a Halloween themed character also. It's Hu Tao, right? But she's not really. She does have some dark humor, but it's not in the same level as Flins. Like Flins is just, he says something so weird and so dark, and what, like, it's borderline. Why would you even say that? But it's funny because it's so random. So yeah, that's Flins for you. He's a great character, and this is why I want to C6 him eventually as well. I like pulling for characters that I really like, and I don't really follow meta. But if the characters I like happen to be meta, then that just brings me so much joy, because I know right now, like, there are stronger units aside from Flins, but he is good enough to keep up with the meta right now, and that's good enough for me. Again, being able to 36 star the Abyss is. Wait a minute, I'm talking about Nod Krai again and Flins, and like I miss talking about the drawing again. But yeah, here you can see my drawing is progressing nicely. I played a lot. I played a lot with the rendering style actually of this a little bit, although this video is sped up so you don't really see it, but I really tried focusing on the lighting because I wanted, I was practicing that aspect of this art. It wasn't really just, like, I wanted to draw Flins and Rerir, right? But I also wanted to practice and apply some skills, and I started this drawing as black and white grayscale, and then I added colors after that. It was actually quite challenging for me to do that because I don't really start off that way. I don't really start my drawings off in grayscale and then add colors later. I usually just color them immediately, but it's actually quite nice being able to see the values, or the black and whites of how do you explain values? I don't even know how to explain it. Like, it's the contrast between dark and light in a piece of artwork. I think that's it. If you have a better explanation for values, please drop a comment down below, and I will find a way to bump it up if it explains it better than I do. It probably will. So yeah, that was what I was practicing, as well as the little bit of angle or a different perspective rather than just the characters facing forward. That was also another thing I was practicing in this artwork, as well as character interaction. It's another type of skill to be able to make two characters interact in one piece of artwork. So that is what I also wanted to practice with this art. And oh, the time lapse is done. I barely talked about the artwork, but I think I will do more of these time-lapse videos in the future. I just kind of ran out of time talking about it right now, but do let me know if you want to see any more of these. And me yapping about Genshin Impact, because it's an awesome game right now, especially it kind of brought back that feeling when I was, at least for me, when I was in Mondstadt. It really felt like Mondstadt again, sort of, but like just an upgraded version. Anyway, I think I will end this video here. If you want to hear me yap more, let me be your background noise, and let my other videos, music-oriented videos, be your background noise also for the next time. I'll see you again in the next video, and I hope you enjoyed listening to me yapping. Yeah, okay. See ya again. Bye!